What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and today we got an update notification, so I'll be discussing all of that in this video and you can do the same in the comments. So the first thing that we have to take a look at is the Legendary Azura remix. I felt like Legendary Alm would also get a remix this month because he is present on the remix banner, but I guess he's going to be getting it later on. So Legendary Azura is the last Legendary unit who was released before the pair-up mechanic began. So she's going to be getting Ray Waves 2, which is a pretty tame upgrade, I would say. It's only going to be applicable to the infantry and flying allies, so she's going to be giving them the +1 movement as per usual, and now with the upgrade she can give you the Null Panic effect as well. So Null Panic is definitely pretty nice if you're trying to use a lot of stats with bonus doubler and stuff like that to not be susceptible to panic, but this Null Panic is only going to be affecting the infantry and flying allies that she dances. So pretty tame upgrade, I would say, because she's already pretty good as a dancer. There's definitely now a lot more competition among dancers compared to when she was released, but still it is probably going to be a tame refine as well. And then she gets attack speed push 4 as a remix skill over B dual flying 4. So definitely a pretty nice skill to have, especially if you have extra copies of her. So now her fodder value has increased, but honestly, attack speed push 4 is present on so many units at this point. We also have some other refines here, a lot of Fates units this time. So Azura is going to be getting a refine to her prayer wheel, probably going to be kind of similar to Harmonic Azura I feel like, but not fully the same, so it might be a bit of an upgrade. King Garon is also going to be getting a weapon refine to his Breath of Blight, and they actually skipped Etlin from the Grail lineup, so she's not going to be getting a refine. It seems like the lower rarity healers don't really get any kind of weapon. It's the only 5-star locked healers that seem to get the preferred weapons. So Garon does have pretty min-max stat line for a Grail unit. He does have good mixed bulk, and his weapon basically has this AoE function. So I hope that they can modernize this kind of weapon and give him some kind of extra effect, and definitely give him a lot of stats that he needs to function as a dragon. Ideally some kind of auto follow-up would be really good, or at least some enemy phase follow-up, because he's pretty slow. So almost always he has to run quicker post to get the auto double. And then Azura's son is also going to be getting a weapon refine, and he's going to be getting Azure Lance. So Lance Flyers are incredibly competitive. I feel like he's probably going to be retaining the Harmonic Lances plus 10 true damage, but I feel like his refine is probably going to be him requiring to be near like dancers or refreshers, because that would fit Shigure. So maybe if he's within 3 spaces of a dancer, he could get some kind of extra stats or extra effect. So I can see them taking that route with his refine. We also have Gunnthra as the seasonal refine for this month. Hikami is a pretty nice weapon for the debuff, but I feel like they're probably going to be going in the direction of Adrift Camilla in terms of giving her really impressive debuffs. So running a cat skill is always going to be really good on Gunnthra if they take that route. So I'm actually pretty excited with Gunnthra, because unlike Lance Flyers, there's not too much competition in these Sword Flyers. We do of course have Legendary Ryoma and stuff like that, but still Gunnthra can get better if she gets a really stacked refine. We also have Mikoto getting the Doting Staff. So just like the name suggests, it's probably going to be some kind of supported weapon. She might actually retain the flash effect that she has in her weapon, but it could end up being something like Wallheart's weapon refine maybe, which can trigger at start of a turn, so she doesn't really have to attack and she can still support her allies and her children of course. And the final refine for this month is going to be Sue with that quick Mulagir. So it's interesting that they mention Mulagir, and I feel like because it's Mulagir, it's probably going to be having some kind of true damage to help her, because her attack is not really the highest, and because it has the quick wording, it kind of makes me think that it has to do something with the special acceleration or special charges, because the only other weapon that we have with this prefix is Quick Dagger, which gives you -2 special cooldown. So it could be something like that, but maybe I'm looking into it too much. So those are the 6 refines of this month. 4 of them are of the Fates units, so definitely a big month for Fates fans. And then we also have the Ephemera manuals for this month. We are basically going to be getting attack speed solo for free with Fear, and Air Orders is also present on her, but it's not really all that impressive compared to Ground Orders, I would say. And Harsh Command Plus is also present on her assist, so this could be really helpful for arena scoring. but I guess many people are probably going to be using her for attack speed solo. It's definitely a pretty nice unit to get, and we have a ton of attack speed solo 4 in the Divine Code section, so maybe you can get the tier 4 version along with another skill if you grab this. We also have Spring Veronica with Green Dual Flying 4 as her only fodder. So this is only really useful if you have another seasonal unit in Spring Inigo who has G Dual Flying 4. You can get the version 3 of this skill from Veronica and then get G Dual Flying 4 and Attack Speed Rain 3 from Spring Inigo. And he's going to be getting his rerun this month as we are going to be getting the Bunny banner. So pretty timely manual, but honestly she doesn't have very good fodder unless you're trying to aim for Spring Inigo, and she hasn't really got a refine yet. So if you do have a copy of Spring Veronica, then yeah, probably do not fodder her. If you really like her, you can just get an extra merge and maybe her refine can end up being really good. Cyan Nana provides you with Speed Resistance Form, which is a decent budget skill. She also has Staff of 12, which is another pretty nice supported weapon, which basically has Sparkling Boost built into it, and she's going to be a pretty popular merge project because of being the only free-to-play flying healer. We also have Orochi, who does provide you with drawback and attack resistance link. She does have a preferred weapon, so many people are going to be plus 10 merging her. I do have plus 10 Orochi on my main account, so she's definitely a pretty popular demote merge project, I would say. Shana is the only source of Desperation 3 in the 3-star 4-star pool at 4-star, so if you're low on Desperation fodder, then she's a pretty good pick. And then Echidna does have Drive Attack, which is a pretty universal slot skill just for support. So it is also a nice skill to have if you're missing some. And then finally we have Reposition. I think at this point we all have enough amounts of reposition. So yeah, this month's manuals are not really the most impressive. I think many people can let go of Spring Veronica if they do not have an extra copy of her, and pretty much get Spring Fear and get the other 4-star manuals depending on their needs. So yeah, Attack Speed Solo is pretty much the main course meal for this month's manuals. And we also have a new Divine Code section, so I'll be making an entirely new video on this, going full in depth. If you saw my last year's Divine Codes 2 Ultimate Guide, then this is going to be similar to that. It's actually going to be better than that because I've definitely added some more things. So I'll be like going super in depth into this in like 1 or 2 days, and I'll be uploading that. So look forward to that. I'm actually pretty excited that we're getting some really nice fodder in the Divine Code section. And just keep in mind that Divine Codes have backwards compatibility. They do not have forward. So you will have to collect the Divine Codes 3 if you want to get these fodder. We have 2 new captain skills for Summoner Duels. Flash of Steel does have the dive bomb effect built into it, so your captain can get the dive bomb effect if they have this skill equipped. And this is pretty much going to be making any kind of unit Uller, because you have units like Duochrome, Eitri who have auto follow up, and when you combine this kind of dive bomb effect, which gives you instant desperation, then you can definitely make a really powerful nuker, because you can even destroy armor units who have Hardy Fighter and who front load their specials like Aegis for example, or Ice Mirror for Ascended Fjorm. So you can destroy those units incredibly easily with these kinds of super powerful units who have auto follow ups. And you can also quad attack really hard with Bride Catria and just attack consecutively 4 times, which is incredibly strong. And not only that, if you're going to be within 2 spaces of this captain, you can get Null Guard and Null Special Acceleration. So yeah, this is honestly a really solid captain skill compared to the other skills which are going to be available at that time. So there's always this one standout captain skill that everyone just uses. Turmoil is the current one, and then before that we had Quick Draw, which was definitely insanely strong. Rallying Cry is basically a self buff to your captain and allies within 2 spaces of your captain. I would say this is mainly useful if you're trying to use units with bonus doubler and stacking up a ton of bonus doubler with like Legendary Eliwood for example, and then having some kind of Null Panic effect would be really helpful here, I feel like, with Legendary Azura or maybe Ashera, or just the Rouse 4 skills, because Sudden Panic is going to be really annoying for your units if you have these many buffs. And this could also be used on Neo Dagger actually, who does have bonus doubler, and she's a very meta relevant threat. So this is not really as impressive as Flash of Steel, but it does have its usage. Mostly going to be used in the bonus doubler strats, I would say. And then we also have some other changes to Summoner Duels. So they're basically saying that after you reach the highest glory at the end of Summoner Duels S or Summoner Duels R, you're going to be getting first place regardless of how many losses or wins you have. This seems like a really weird thing to mention, especially for Summoner Duels R, which has the highest glory at 7,300, which is like 2-3 people most of the time, which grind really hard and try hard really hard. Last time, 1000 glory was the max glory that you could reach in Summoner Duels S, and it seems like it is going to be increased every time that event is held. So that is Summoner Duels. They're also going to be adding a resume button, which is really helpful. And now they are going to be making it so that you cannot match the same opponent after, a short period of time. This is really annoying many times because if there are not too many players online, you might just run into the same opponent again and again. This has happened to me before actually. I rematched into the same opponent like 3-4 times. They were probably fed up with that as well. So this is definitely a really good change. And then we have the main course meal of the Summoner Duels changes, which is the battle replay ID. So definitely takes me back to the old Pokemon days. This is pretty much the way that you can show your replays, or I guess save them. I really want to know for how long can these replays last in their server, because records do get erased after a time in these Summoner Duels. So it seems like this is the way of saving them for a longer period of time. So yeah, this is a pretty nice change, honestly. A nice quality of life change. Aether Raids does have some upgrades, so Dark Shrine is going to be upgradable to level 9, and then Aether Resort has got renewed purpose and anxiety from Fire Emblem 3 houses. Yep, so anxiety is finally in FEH. Now I can properly feel represented by playing this song. They're going to be adding Reeve and Dean in the Grail pool as well. Mjolnir's Trek is going to be having a structure increase as well. And then they have some other minor changes and fixes, like Ishtar is going to be having her floating weapon again. It's going to be a bit easy to get the summoner support and ally support levels. This is especially really good for the people who do not have FEH Pass, because yeah, people without FEH Pass just have one summoner support, so it definitely helps with the grinding. They're going to be fixing Winter Ephraim's Refine effect and the Ascended Traits menu, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, this update is definitely pretty nice with the Divine Code section and the remix and refine. The refine of the first dancer in the game in Legendary Azura. So this might actually open up the way for other dancers to also get their refines, but I feel like they might follow the pattern which they did with healers, not giving the 3-star, 4-star dancers any kind of refines and only giving it to the 5-star locked units. But I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they give refines to stuff like Olivia and Young Azura. So let me know in the comments what you think about this update, and if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously, and if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as healers like Etlin getting skipped for their refine. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.